Hey guys, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be the last set of reviews I'm doing with the double reviews for the new Marvel Legends series Spider-Man Retro Collection. And it's going to be Symbiote Spider-Man and Hobgoblin. Finally have these two. Hobgoblin came quicker than I was originally told on Amazon. It was supposed to come in March and came in this week. However, Symbiote Spider-Man was delayed a bit by a few days. And the packaging on mine is a little bit messed up. However, I am going to be taking it out of the box. It's not going to matter, really, at all. Just wanted to let you know in case you want to keep this in box. Amazon may not be the best place for some of these figures. Very happy with the whole way so far. Can't wait to open these. Let's just go ahead and just talk about the packaging. It's very much what we've gotten so far with the rest of this line. Spider-Man with Spider-Man on top of the wording Spider-Man, of course. We do have Marvel Comics ages 4 and up. Images of the characters on the side there. You have the figures in the box. Bottom half here, you do have bottom left, warning, choking hazards. There's also the characters' names I don't think I ever mentioned, but you guys can clearly see that. Bottom right does have the Hasbro logos. On the back here, just a quick wide shot of both packagings here for the back. Now we zoom in and you can look at Hobgoblin's here, his read-up, some of the interchangeable pieces and whatnot. Marvel Spider-Man with Spider-Man again on the wording, like on the front. And then the name of the character and the image right there. And then you have pretty much the same thing for Symbiote Spider-Man with all those removable hands, his read-up, and an image of the character on the top right. Bottom half here, you can see the rest of the wave, as well as a lot of multilingual warnings and whatnot. And here are the barcodes in case you need them. The top one is going to be for the Symbiote Spider-Man, and the bottom one is going to be for Hobgoblin. Let's go ahead and get these out of the packaging. So here are both figures out of the packaging. Very awesome figures. I really like the black suit Spider-Man and the body mold used here. Works really well for it. And I finally have a Hobgoblin in my collection. I was not able to get the previous one, so it's nice to finally have one. Let's go ahead and take a look at Spider-Man first. We'll take a look at his accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at Hobgoblin afterwards. Now, I like the black suit Spider-Man figure here. You'll see that my particular figure has a couple of quality control issues, especially this hand here. You can tell, actually can focus, what is that teal on the knuckle right there on the middle finger? That's weird. I'm not super happy about that. A couple of loose joints on mine as well, and also that packaging. I mean, I took it out of the box. It doesn't matter anymore, but if you were an inbox collector, that packaging would not be acceptable. But anyway, nice whipping hands we usually get with Spider-Man figures with the white. You can see the black going through the white there on the back of the hands, which is kind of a staple for the black suit here. You also got the open hands here. He came packaged with a fist, so pretty standard stuff with Spider-Man figures. Not super good, you know, I'm not going to complain about it super much. But maybe some effects pieces like webs and whatnot would have been nice. Here's a really quick size comparison with some other black suit Spider-Man figures that Hasbro Marvel Legends has given us in the past. On the right, that's the Sandman series we've gotten from many years ago. And even further back is actually the Red Hulk series from the Target exclusive wave, which I still think is a pretty decent figure, but I do glad that they were able to update these figures over time because it was a little outdated. Here is this guy right here. He is very good looking. The black on him is, you know, it's just matte black, but it pops through really well. It's done extremely well. The white on the, you know, the spiders on his logos and chests and whatnot. Man, there are just some random splotches on. I got a very unlucky one. Look at that weird. And it's not like, if it was black, it'd be a little annoying. That's fine. This is like brown. And then the other one of the other hands I showed off, the one of the whipping hands, that had, I don't know where it is, that teal on it. What the heck is going on? I don't know what happened with this one, so I might have to track another one down. So that's unfortunate, because I'm just gonna go through the, you know, the other problems I have with the figure. So I think there's something deformed here. I mean, the paint I can forgive, but it's something deformed in here to where it pops out a little too easily. However, let me bring this one out because if you could see it in the camera at all. So the ball joint in the head, as well as going into the neck, that's all smooth and dandy. It all works well together. So it doesn't feel like there's any snagging. For some reason, the head popped onto here. This part, you know, it doesn't want to swivel around this part. It only wants to make what's going in here swivel. And you can hear that. That's going to worry me a bit. And it's just feels like I'm not popping the head in all the way. I don't know if the head looks like it's risen up at all. So I don't really know. And there's also this part is loose here, and I think that's really it when it comes to like loose joints and whatnot and certain joint problems. But I don't know. I just feel like I got a bit of an unlucky one, and it's a little bit of a bummer because this thing looks really cool, man. Again, going into the face sculpt here, you know, the eyes are actually sculpted on. So it's a separate sculpt from the head. It's not just painted on there. The paint is really clean. Besides that splotch on the back, the spider logo is very clean. On the front, all the muscles come through really nice. I feel like for some reason it was just a little too much. The body was a little too muscular for this guy here. I still liked it though, but I just think it's almost perfect. The body mold for this guy. I don't know what's going on. I guess the black suit, you know, the fact that he's a lot more of a meaner Spider-Man sometimes with this suit, I guess helps. Here's the fists. A few, I don't know what's going on here with that part of his forearm. A few like glossy parts, something up with the sculpt on him, but nothing too noticeable. There's the other fist. At this point, though, we have a figure in this series that uses the exact same body, so you guys kind of know what to expect with, you know, sculpting and whatnot. Lots of great muscles going into the torso, as well as, you know, muscles in the arms and whatnot. This is what the back looks like. See how the paint is continued, and it kind of breaks up, of course, but it's not that bad. I think that's kind of to be expected when you want to move it around. You're not going to really notice it at all because the way that they've done it is where all the paint on the legs for the front are on the chest and on the arm, on the butterfly joint and all. So that is good. Very good. Then very standard legs. We actually get these with figures in the with what body is it? The one the Spider-Man 2099 is Will Sunfire and a few other Spider-Man figures. So, well, not much else to expect here. An alternate head would have been nice. I'd never got the black suit Spider-Man with Kraven, and I never got that head. So that head I would have thought would be nice here too. But anyway, we do a quick 360. We'll look at articulation. There's not much for you guys to. This has been reviewed to heck by now. This got reviewed a while ago by Jay Hernandez too, so you guys know what to expect. Articulation 2. I don't know what's going on, but actually, there we go. So, I don't know what I was doing. The head articulation is pretty good. It's a little stiff though in some parts, so it could, you know, tilt like that. Back motion, you can see that cut on the back there. The head goes up that far. There's a little bit of gappage, but wants to pop off easily. Sadly, down decently. And a swivel. And if you couldn't tell, of course, it is a different head sculpt from before that Spider-Man. It's even also a different head sculpt. They just dropped another figure. With this boy right here, this head is going to be a little too big for this body, and vice versa. This is going to be small for this body. I've tried it. Also, mine is kind of messed up to where it wants to. I could pop it back in, but parts will pop out as if it almost broke. So, not super happy about that. Anyway, I digress. Butterfly joint, arms go all the way around. In and out, upper arm swivel. We do have the double jointed elbows. Swivel at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. Good thing about this figure, since it's all black, you're not going to have any of those red joints going through blue like the previous one. But kind of like the previous one here, the paint will break up a bit with the white spider logo. I really don't care that much, honestly. You can see all that range of motion going on there, and we do have a separate ab crunch for that too. The drop down here is really good. I think even a little bit better than this one because sometimes it likes to shift over instead of, you know, going down a little bit more naturally than it should. Back is not great for the motion though. In and out, upper thigh swivel. We do have double jointed knees, swivel at the calf, bend at the foot, and then we do have an ankle rocker. So we have a pumpkin bomb. The sculpt here has been used plenty of times from previous Hasbro Marvel Legend Green Goblins. I believe with the previous Hobgoblin as well. We do have some black that they've added in the paint for the green there. Looks pretty, if I'm being honest, a little sloppy, but I get what they're trying to do. It kind of makes it look a little smoky, a little bit like some weird fire, so I dig that. Green in the translucent orange. Looks pretty decent. We do have this sack that we've gotten with Green Goblin in the past, I believe Mary Jane as well. There's some silver on the buckle there, but it's just mostly molded in this purple sculpt. And then we have the Goblin glider here. This looks great, man. I really like how it was sculpted. I can't remember if this is the same as the previous one. What the back looks like. There's nothing on the bottom like the Green Goblins. So I don't think there's... I think it had like a little port. We can maybe put something in there. That could like pivot around. The foot pieces here. You can hook them on, of course. This is the purple on here comes through really nice. It's mostly it kind of like a matte purple, but it shines a bit. It just looks really good, and they actually have some details in the divots and whatnot. The paint on the eyes of this thing are really sick, and that's what the bottom looks like too, with these little pieces there. So I dig that a lot. A lot of us know how to use them by now, when it comes to hooking these in, but he does not have curled toes like the Green Goblin, so they may slip out a little bit easier, like you're seeing with the right side. But all you gotta do, yeah, it's a little difficult for me at least right now. I'm gonna have to set them down. All you gotta do is pretty much that. There you go. So I have the Retro Collection Green Goblin here, just for a quick comparison with the Hobgoblin. You can see biggest differences in the legs and the arms, of course. The previous one also had these scale legs. They were kind of metallic. I'm actually glad that they're actually Bucky Cap pieces this time, because some of these figures that have these scales, this one's fine, but like Black Knight, with his more metallic plastic using these scales, that the legs actually broke. So sometimes they're a little stiff and they just don't work super well. Even then, these are pretty stiff too. So I'm glad that this one here doesn't really, have that problem. These work fine. They're tight enough but loose to where I can move them freely. So that's good. Now, I know I've complained about Bucky Cap parts or the Bucky Cap mold in the past, but if their parts are used well, like here, I'm not going to complain about it. And the torsos are shared, completely. So that's fine too. Head sculpt here is really, really awesome. I believe it was reused from the Space Venom wave. This time we just don't have that alternate head that comes with that figure. It's just this one head. What you can do, I don't remember if it was like this when I saw reviews for the previous one, but the head is loose enough, all right? This might take me a second, but you can pop this out of the hood. That's really sick, actually. You can get a better look at all of those shading and details going on, like the cheek muscles and the bones and whatnot. Well, the more bony details I meant, not really any bones. The teeth came through nice. The red on the eyes are really nice. The black around those is really good too. They pretty much put all kinds of shading. Well, not all kinds, but pretty much a wash is what I meant throughout the rest of the head. And inside too, so that's really sick. You just pop that back on. Fits on nicely. Just pop the head back on, and I'm doing it off camera. And there we go. What pops? It's a little loose on mine. No. There we go. So it's really nice looking, man. I really like how it came through. So the rest of it, there's not much to talk about, because it's all in a basic color, and we've seen these body parts before, but we do have, stretching on the suit, like we got with the previous Green Goblin. It's fine, the details. Slightly muscular, but still looks like it's actually being worn by clothes, so I like that. Or he's wearing clothes is what I meant, worn by clothes. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about sometimes. But we do have this nice tearing and tethering going on for his cape. Looking nice. It's just all molded in this orange color, so it doesn't look amazing in some parts, but I think if you add a wash, it should be fine. And then we get to the yellow, and the blue one. I actually contrasts pretty well together. We can see with the gloves there. Pretty much the exact pretty much the exact same hands, but not the gauntlets as the previous one. Nice big belt here, which does have some silver paint on there, and as well as these yellow pieces, like orangish, yellowish, almost painted on there. So the back looks like this. Does not have a peg that goes into the back, but it's fine without it. You can see some of those wrinkles I forgot to mention going in there. That hood is really nice. Look at the back of the hood. I really dig that a lot. And then we do have all those muscles going on in the legs, Bucky Cap legs, of course. And these boots that we've gotten with Bucky Cap figures in the past plenty of times. But they look fine here. But it's just in one color. Some wrinkles and whatnot. Not much going on. So I kind of breeze through this figure a little bit. But at this point, the differences, of course, are how the plastic is molded. The cape, as well as the head sculpt and whatnot. There's not much different going on here. I'll do a quick 360 for you guys. Looks pretty good though, I think. It all comes together pretty nicely. So the head goes down. I think this might get in the way a bit, but the head goes down like that. Up could be much. Actually, it's pretty good. I said it was going to be better, or could be better, but it's fine. Swivel there. Arms go all the way around. A little bit tight on mine. Yikes. We do have the arms that go outward like that. Upper arm swivel. Go back down. These little gauntlets want to get in the way, but you can do a double joint swivel up there as well as a hinge at the wrist. This is for both hands. Then we do have ab crunch that goes back like that. Forward could be a little better. Swivel. Legs go forward. Not really. Yeah, actually back decently. In and out really well. Upper thigh swivel. We also get a double jointed knee. Swivel at the boot. And then we have the up. It's a little bit stiff on mine. The down like that for the ankle. Up is pretty good. Then we do have an ankle rocker. Quick size comparison on the left, that is the previous Retro Collection Spider-Man from Marvel Legends. On the right, we have Black Series Mando. As you can see, Black Series figures run shorter than Marvel Legends characters. I think because of the new head sculpt, the Black Suit Spider-Man is just a smidge taller than the previous one. They're about the same height, no matter what, though, because they have the same body. And he's going to be about the same height as the figure I just reviewed as well, Hobgoblin. And since I acquired all the figures in this time frame here, I'm just going to go ahead and rank them all. From left to right, it's my most favorite to least favorite. And let me clarify, the least favorite does not make it a bad figure at all. Just comparatively to the rest of the figures, I have to choose. At least for me, I have to choose which one is, the weakest and then which one's the strongest. And all the way on the left, Armored Spider-Man is really awesome. I was a little bit, expectations were a little low, so maybe that's not super fair, but it blew my expectations away and then some. It is such a nice looking figure. The new body mold and the really nice paint apps for the silver and whatnot. Very fun figure. Now, the next one, which is my second favorite, is going to be Hammerhead, which is using, it's not reused all the time, but it's a suit body that we've gotten with Happy Hogan a few months ago. And it's not a brand new figure when it comes to the body. However, that head sculpt is fantastic, and the way that they use the pinstripes and whatnot, as well as the different chest overlay with the vest on it going over the chest, it's just a really nice looking piece, man. Really awesome. They did an awesome job with this Hammerhead. The third favorite, getting to the middle, is going to be the Symbiote Spider-Man. I wish I could put it a little higher, but at least for my figure, some of the quality control is not that, great. Yeah, my figure had some problems, to say the least. But the body mold is used very well with this figure. The black comes through really nice. It's such a nice looking figure. There's no hate for this figure at all. Next is going to be Ben Reilly Spider-Man, which is using the same body mold. I don't know why. I just think the black came through a little bit better, with the Symbiote Spider-Man compared to what they gave us with Ben Reilly, which is not bad. It's just kind of as good as I expected it to be, is really all I can give an explanation for. It's still a really nice figure. Next is going to be Hobgoblin, second to least favorite, just because I kind of knew what to expect. That's been out for years. We have some retooling of some parts, and different parts from the previous one, of course, but it's still a nice looking figure. It wasn't blown away because I kind of knew what to expect. It's been out for, the previous one was out for that long. My least favorite is Shocker, but it's not a horrible figure, mind you. It would probably skyrocket somewhere on this list if those black lines were painted. But the rest of it is a really nice figure, I do have to admit, with a nice new body mold, pinless tech and whatnot, and pretty good accessories, even though the wrists don't hinge. So, again, it's just it was really hard to make this ranking, man. It's just a really solid wave of figures. All these figures have great things about them. There is not a single bad figure in this series. So a great way for me, at least, to end the wave, since these were the ones that came later, and I'm doing the reviews later, sadly, but man, these things are awesome. Black Suit Spider-Man has some quality control issues, but the body mold and the paint mostly comes through really nice with some really good accessories. Great articulation like always. It's a very fun figure. I might like it a little bit more than the retro, the one that came out in 2020 with the regular paint apps, the blue and red and whatnot. Very, very fun figure. Hobgoblin is also really good. Again, it's just I kind of knew what to expect with this figure, and that doesn't make it a bad thing, of course. It's really nice. It's good to have an updated Hobgoblin for people who didn't get a previous one. The accessories are really sick. The head sculpt's awesome. The fact that the hood comes off too is really sick. Could have better paint apps because it's mostly just molded in the colors that it's in, but it's still a very solid figure. This whole wave rocks, man. Seriously. Each figure is going to be a little over $20. I got both of mine on Amazon. I'll leave some links down in the description where you can get these figures. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figures, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.